Do we have any rules? Is there anything I should or shouldn't say?
You can say whatever you want. No, it's there's no cutting out in post.
Oh no!
It is a one take shot,
unedited.
This show is completely unedited.
It's like if you whip it out, we ain't changing that.
Yeah, it's
going on the air.
Welcome to the Buckhorn Podcast. I am Martelle, and with me always is Randy. What up, Randy?
What isn't up?
I don't know. Josh. We have a guest today.
We do.
Josh.
Hello.
Josh has been to my house 3 times and only been on the show once, and 2 of those times was to fix Randy's piece of shit truck.
Yep. That I sold.
And
made money on. I made $1,000 on that truck.
Hey, I'm not gonna.
I'm happy.
So, what's up, Josh?
I think we just decided I'm Randy's good luck charm. Coming up to fix the truck.
Yeah.
Go out for the first ride in the car, and now we're fixing the car.
Yeah, so were those tires original? So on your way out here, you blew a tire in your
happened?
1973 land yacht.
78.
Lincoln land yacht, doesn't matter.
See, what happened was...
And the tires are original,
No, they're not. Those are new tires, actually.
The spare is original.
The spare's original.
So why didn't
the
you
can
put the
of
spare
compressed
on?
air.
Because the spare is not only a donut, it's one of the ones that comes with the can of, like, compressed air.
Perfect.
That's the original one from 78.
It'll still work because it was built in 78.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine. It'll work.
No, what happened was I decided to drive the old Lincoln. It hasn't been driven since like October. I've started it twice, but it hasn't been driven.
Yeah.
So I'm already running late. Run out to where I keep it parked. Fire it up.
In the
goes on
park.
the second crank. Yeah, in the park. Second crank, it fires up. I'm like, sweet. Good day. I'm going to drive the land yacht, have some fun. Beautiful weather. I mean, it's overcast kind of, but...
Oh, no, it's still beautiful outside.
Yeah, it's nice out. So I get going, get to the stop sign at 22, and it dies. Well, it's an old carbureted engine, so I crank it back up, and I let it warm up.
Pump the gas.
Yep. And after a minute, I got to where it's going. It didn't backfire. Runs great. Get into town, wait on Josh. He comes and hops in, and I'm like, all right, we're going to spin around the block, get gas, head out of town. Running a little late, but we're good.
Yeah.
So I get going down through Circleville, and all of a sudden, I hear the sound of a 1978 all-original metal hubcap. That's worth probably, like, it'd be $150 to replace probably. Coming off just clanking across the other 2 lanes of traffic. Like, I look in my mirror, and sure enough, clank, clank, clank. Well, once that hopped the curb and stopped clanking, all we heard was pshh. And I'm like, son of... Like, that thing punctured my tire. So we turn into Ted Lewis Park and get to
where you keep the car.
Right, where I keep the car. And we pull up where the old pool used to be. And sure enough, I mean, it's dead flat. So I take a picture to send to you saying, hey, we're going to be a little late. And then I get to look, and the valve stem's missing. So when the hubcap came off, because it's got the little spokes, it just grabbed hold of the valve stem
and ripped it out.
Coming with.
So luckily the tire's good. So I called a guy I know.
So before you left, you stuffed the valve stem between the hubcap, then the spokes of the hubcap, loosened the hubcap so when you took off, you would have something to talk about on the show today.
Exactly. You're welcome.
All right.
I know you wanted me to be here 2.5 hours late.
I know, because I was
an hour and a half late.
Really, because all we were going to talk about was how difficult it is to pee when your dick hole sticks together and the piss goes 2 different ways.
Okay, well, we'll get to that. So I make a call. I'm like, I'm going to call Mike Cessna. And Josh used to work for Mike. He's like, okay. And I said, dude, hopefully he's still got the wheel van. Because he used to be with My Auto Care. Well, now he's got a company called Fleet Force.
Yeah.
He does mobile repair on fleet vehicles, like
Semis
mail vehicles.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, I hope he still has that van. I don't know who else to call. I've got a worthless spare. I don't want to jack
You don't
it
know
up.
that it was worthless. You didn't try. You didn't try.
I'll show you when we leave here.
The trust factor was low.
Yeah, like I'm not sure.
I don't know. I may have given it a
if it wasn't even a full size
8.
spare. If it was a full size spare, I'd been more inclined to. But on a car that big, it's 19.3 feet, like 19 feet 3 inches long.
Yeah.
Weighs like almost 5,000 pounds.
It's a tank.
It is.
It'll be fine. Just put treads on it.
Oh.
They make tread kits for cars.
A Lincoln on treads would be
That would actually be really sick. I can
Right.
see
Those
that.
triangle treads?
Yeah.
It would be all lit. Oh.
Put them on the rear.
I better not hit the lotto.
Put them on the rear for the drive. No, and then put your just get
Skids
some,
on the front?
No, make that fucker donk.
Just some big old twankies.
Oh yeah, like
Spoke 20s,
32-inch wagon
rubber
wheels
band
on
tires.
some
We
wrap
already
some
know
rubber
the truck's
bands.
big enough to fit a 50 cal, so we're ready for the apocalypse. at
Yeah,
that
we're
point.
good.
So
So yeah, I called Mike. He said, hey, I'm actually in the van. I can be there. Sweet. So he's there in 5-10 minutes and goes, hey, I just realized I don't have my jack or my impact in here. I'm going to have to run to the shop and get it, which the shop's out of town. I was like, cool. So Mike runs out and gets it, comes back in. Dad happens to be in town. I sent in the picture too, like, just my luck, first drive of the season. And he's like, well, we're in town. Where you at? So he came by. So him and Kev just sat in his nice new Platinum F-150.
Pointing and laughing.
With their cooled seats. And no, I mean, he's owned and worked on so many old cars. He understood. So we're just talking, shooting the breeze.
That's why he was pointing and laughing.
He wasn't this time. Now, if I'd done something stupid, he would have called me an idiot and pointed and laughed for sure.
I don't even think we hit a pothole or anything.
We didn't. That's the thing. It just popped off.
Yeah.
Like, I hit no big bump.
Because Randy loosened it and stuffed the air valve.
There were three
valve
screws
stem.
missing. There were three screws missing.
I took all three of the screws out. The hubcaps screwed together.
Yeah.
I took 3 of them out. So.
Yeah. That's because you wanted the story for the show.
Yeah.
Content. Anything for content.
Yeah.
I paint pictures with my words. I have said this time and again.
I understand that.
I have to have
But now
words
you're just
to say.
making shit up.
So, usually that's what I'm doing. This is all true, unfortunately. So, but Mike did get the tire, the wheel, everything fixed, mounted it back for me, and got me going. So, big shout out to Mike from Fleet Force.
Nice.
It really is an impressive model, too. It's literally an entire tire shop in the back of his van.
Yeah,
He's got a balancer
he can do
and a
anything.
machine.
Everything in this
Anything you
van.
can do in a shop, he's got in his van.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't need that. I have no use for that.
You needed that with the Audi at one point.
No, with maybe the 2011. I never had any issues with the S5.
Oh, I just meant swapping the wheels and tires and stuff.
Oh, so
Not issues.
So speaking of those, so I sold my Vossens.
Right,
So-
those are wheels for
Those are wheels. I had
my female family member listeners. I have no clue
I
what
had
Boston's are.
I had 20-inch by 9s and 20-inch by 10s.
Wow.
Stagger set that when I bought the S5, the guy gave them to me.
That's awesome.
They're like $3,000 set of wheels, but they needed to be repaired.
Yeah.
So he told me he hit a pothole and bent 2 of the rims on one side. That wasn't the case.
Oh, no.
I found out later on after a Carfax when I was trying to sell the car that he actually got hit. And on the Carfax, it said the car was disabled. Well, it's because he had these 20-inch wheels on there and it popped the tires
Nice.
when he got hit. So it was not his fault, but so they were sitting down
I was
at
going to say,
a shop.
I've seen a pothole blow one tire. Doubtful you hit one that takes out 2. Like, not just tires, but takes out 2 rims.
It on the same side, it's possible.
I didn't say it's not possible. I've
But-
just never seen it.
Anyway, so the wheel medic or whoever, they told me it was going to be about $600 to fix it. All 2 of the wheels need to be fixed. One had some road rash on it, and the other one was perfectly fine. The road rash I could have dealt with, I could have lived with, if they could have just fixed the bent wheels. No. They're like, we can't even match this from Vossen. We have to respray everything, powder coat. We're just the whole 9 yards. It'll be $600. Cool. So I was going to get it done. I never ended up getting it done. And had the wheels for 2.5, 3 years.
Yeah, something like that.
I only owned the car for 2 years, 2.5 years. Sold the car out of spite in July because some asshole was dicking around. Like, I wanted 18 for it. He kept offering me 15, was hassling me, so I sold it to a dealership for $16,500. And then told him I sold it to the dealership for $16,500.
Yeah.
And he was like, "What the fuck?" He was like, I'm like, you wouldn't give me what I wanted for it. And it's purely out of spite at this point. I still made money on the deal. Don't care. But the wheels I sold, I had them up originally for $1,600. Just ridiculous amount of money for a abused set of wheels.
Right.
Like half the price for what they would be brand new, but more than,
They were worth.
more than they were worth. So then I dropped it to 12, didn't sell. So then I just took them off. Well, 2 weeks ago, I was cleaning out my shed. Randy was here. I ended up putting them up that day. And later that evening, a guy's like, "I'll buy them, $800." I had them for $900. He's like, "I'll give you $700 for them." I'm like, $800. That's the best I'm going to go. He's like, "Let me get back to you." Got back to me. He's like, $800. He spent $150 to have them fixed at a place up in Cleveland. They didn't even have to respray them or they didn't have to do any of this. They fixed the bend and cleaned up the road rash. And he sent me a picture of what they look like on his S5. fucking gorgeous. I'm like,
Wah, wah, wah.
that's all right. I don't have an S5, and I can't
not
use them
anymore.
on. Can't
Put
use
them
them
on the FJ.
They won't fit.
I know they won't.
The FJ's got 5 lugs.
Adapters.
Oh, I ain't going through all that bullshit. Fuck
Fine.
that.
Dude, it's fine.
So back to the pee hole thing.
So yeah, I wrecked my pee. I wrecked my,
So the other day,
my wheel messed up.
now this is something that only guys have to deal with. So occasionally you get a kumquat in your tip, and
Did you say a kumquat?
yes, it's a fruit.
Ouch.
Yeah, they're large.
I've never had a kumquat, but I feel like that would hurt.
It was a pit.
Ouch.
And then it closes the hole, and then you pee left and right or up and down.
It's
depending.
like an inverter. It's a splitter.
Yeah, and you completely miss the toilet.
It's kind of like blowing snot out of both nostrils at once.
I fucking did that the other day, and you can't stop. So I had like piss all over the floor, trying to angle one into the like you're just
Trying to
Put it in at once.
yeah,
50% in the toilet.
50% in the toilet, 50% out of the toilet. I'm just like, finally, I was able to pinch it off.
Just sit and pee.
Jesus Christ!
Sit and pee, no problem.
You're right, yeah, and usually
I mean, usually you don't know that until it starts. So.
right, but I only do that when I'm feeling like super lazy.
And you were worried about saying something wrong on this show.
I'm sitting here.
Not sure you even want to be here right now. Super uncomfortable. Josh does not frequently talk about things such as these,
Well,
but you know he's experienced it.
that's fine. Everybody
yeah.
has.
No.
Every guy has.
Oh, totally.
But I just wanted to bring it up to make Josh a little more comfortable when
I was just deciding, would it have been cleaner to twist around and then sit down versus getting 50% in?
So, like, do a spray across the
Exactly.
wall as you
Yeah.
go and tuck real quick.
At least it's impressive at that point.
yeah, you're like,
Draw
whoa,
your name on the wall before you sit down.
it's an Andy Warhol.
It's a master. Put a frame on it.
Take a picture of that,
Perfect.
turn it, and sell it for some cryptocurrency.
So, speaking of cryptocurrency,
Yeah.
what's that weird crap you're doing with the printing crap?
Oh, the NFT.
Yeah.
What
What is that?
All right, so that is it's digital imaging. So I've got the same image out there twice for $50 essentially. It's gonna cost me a whole hell of a lot more than that to mint the images. But what it is an NFT is a non-fungible.
Non-functional.
No, it's not functional. It's like
Transgender.
It's token. It's
Non-fungible token.
fungible. That's it. Non-fungible.
Did you Google
token.
that already?
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it came up not too long ago because I was watching a guy explain how he was basically tagging art, and so you can stay away from the counterfeits. You're only selling the one original copy of art that you can then kind of post and share. Like, yeah, this is the original copy.
So you're
You know
basically
for sure.
selling a painting.
Yes.
Similar.
Okay.
To, I mean,
It's a
using
digital
blockchain.
version of it, though.
Right. But I'm saying it's along the lines of, I painted this. I want this much for it. Do you want to hang it in your house?
Right.
Gotcha,
And
okay.
you can make it. So what I ended up doing is I made the one photo that I did. I made sure that it was printable, 11 by 17, 350 DPI, which is a printable image. They could take it to someplace and have that actually printed out and framed on canvas, and boom, you've got
Art.
one of my photos. I have not put up.
You should name your artist alter ego like Banksy. You should be Artel.
Ooh,
That's actually not bad.
yeah, that's good.
I like it. I
That's
like
good.
me. I like me sometimes.
Yeah, I like you sometimes too.
That's fair.
Yeah,
We're on the same page then.
but I just did it fucking around. Like it didn't really cost me anything. Like if it does
just
sell,
your time, right? You're just doing a graphic design.
yeah, all I did was made sure that it was in the right format and
Right.
uploaded it. But I'm only so if it does sell, I only get 5% of that $50 because I did not pay the gas fee. So with some cryptocurrencies, Ethereum and the Ethereum network, there's a gas fee. You have to pay X amount to do whatever it is you're doing to make a transaction. All right, and Ethereum gas prices right now are through the goddamn roof.
Thanks, Biden.
Yeah, no, Obama.
Thanks, Obama.
So it's like for me to be able to create the photo, if I had done it myself through one of the services, it would have cost me $250, maybe.
Ouch.
I did gasless, which doesn't cost me anything, but I only get 5% of the sale price.
Okay.
So, and I just did it just kind of messing
Just to
around, like,
see,
whatever.
yeah.
So it wasn't like I'm out there trying to make $1 billion like some of these guys have that did like 5,000 photos a day or whatever it was. that sold for $63 million.
What?
Yeah.
It's
absurd. It's
That's
absurd.
incredible.
He's been working on the project. He's been working on this particular project, not for NFT, just this 5,000 photo project for like 15 years.
Wow. Talk about a payout.
Right. So he made some bank on that. But I just did it messing around, and I was like, well, I'll go ahead and start a shop. I'll see what it costs to open a shop. It was going to be $800 to start a shop, which Ethereum right now is about $1,700 a token. So about 0.5 Ethereum is what they're going to charge me, half Ethereum. Just like, I'm not doing that. Like I'm in the hold game, so I just kind of sit and hold on to all the cryptocurrency I own. So but that's all that is. Like,
Gotcha.
I thought about doing a couple other photos. Something you may not know is I'm actually a published photographer.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So, but I didn't use that photo.
You're just a jack off all trades.
I am a jack off of trades.
I mean, you can
all
cook.
the trades.
You can cook
I can cook.
very well.
I
can bartend, apparently.
I can bartend.
Yeah.
I'm a mixologist, but only for old fashions. I don't want to make anything. Well, no, I have a pineapple sour that will blow your friggin'
I
mind.
have not tried that.
I officially
have
That's
not.
interesting. I love pineapple.
It is literally pineapple juice, a shitload of whiskey, and the sour part, a couple drops of lemon juice.
That sounds amazing.
It is
I'm intrigued.
superior.
I'm trying to think. The last pineapple drink that I had was what did G bring to the golf course? Remember that? It's like
No.
a dry pineapple cider. That was pretty good.
I don't remember. He drinks juices.
Yeah. I drink juices from corn.
Corn juice.
Corn juice.
I'll actually drink some corn juice.
That's
It doesn't sound
Is
that.
that going to be in your restaurant?
It will.
Look,
Yeah, why throw that out? It's perfectly good veggie juice.
I guess.
People drink tomato juice all the time.
But
Different versions. Cream corn juice.
Well, even just
That's-
corn when
that's
you
just-
cook, you got that little
that's
water.
just disgusting milk.
Like if you get a bowl of corn, disgusting milk. It's just gross milk. It's mash.
We got chocolate milk. We got strawberry milk. We got
Cream
Corn
corn
milk.
milk.
cream corn.
Take a nice glass of cool cream corn,
Can I
please.
get some of that on the rocks, please?
I'm not going to lie. Not on the rocks, but I would just drink cold cream corn. I'm
That's
not going to lie.
gross.
I love corn.
That's fucking nasty.
I love corn.
It's like eating SpaghettiOs out of the can.
I
Also
100%.
amazing.
Oh, I would do
Yeah, I'm
that
sick of
all
it.
day.
I am not a Franco-American guy, so
I'll do it all day.
I'm a Chef Boyardee.
Any of them.
But
I'll eat the ravioli out of the can.
Anyway.
Ravioli honestly
SpaghettiOs.
is better out of the can. I don't even heat that up.
Yeah.
so we
Give me
are
a fork.
we are drinking old fashions today,
We are.
and I made my old fashioned without the ginger. Although I should treat Josh to a ginger old fashioned.
You should do it right, since he's never had an old fashioned.
Either way, it's delicious.
But this is it's the same recipe I used for the ginger old fashioned, which we gave it a name, but I don't remember what we called it. It was like buckhorn something, because everything's buckhorn something. But this one is with
No, we just called that the man fashion.
Oh, the man fashion. That's
Yeah.
right. And I think,
But somebody else stole that name or something.
yeah, they took an old fashioned and a Manhattan and spliced the two together and called it a man fashion. I'm like, you asses. That's my,
Yeah.
literally my drink.
Intellectual property rights.
Yeah, I've got it.
We can't
talked
tax us
about
on
it.
that.
So I think I'm going to, anything that doesn't, I think if I do an old fashioned that doesn't have the ginger, I'm going to call it the marmalade. Because it has the rind in it. And,
The Martellade.
no, that sounds like a knockoff of Gatorade.
Oh, it does. I don't want any kind of Gatorade you make.
No. Here, let me whip you up some. It'll take me about 5 minutes.
And you'll be peeing out of two streams by the end.
That's right.
Extra
Gross.
electrolytes.
But yeah, so
Organic electrolytes.
Extra protein.
get your protein here. Got your shake.
That'd make a great shirt.
Get your protein here with an arrow pointing down.
And then on the back, I got your shake with the arrow pointing down. You can shake your butt.
That's right. It brings all the boys to the yard.
I got your shimmy, shimmy, shake.
But it's the standard recipe.
I
It's
don't
your
shake, I realized. I just jiggle.
So, did you watch have you ever seen the episode of The Simpsons where Homer's at the doctor and the doctor like slaps his stomach and does like the jiggle test
Yeah.
and it doesn't stop?
Yeah.
That's you.
It's 100% me. I'll have you know that I'm down 11 pounds this week again.
That's awesome.
Same 11 pounds I've lost like 3 times.
Yeah. You just
since
keep putting it
January.
back on.
But, well, we'll see what happens.
I'm
Come
sitting at
next week.
226 right now. So I'm up
man.
2 pounds from the
Challenge.
the challenge.
226 ain't bad. I loved ninth grade myself.
The gold. Well,
Actually, wait. I think I went into high school at like 280. Never mind.
whatever. The goal is
I loved sixth grade.
215 by the end of May.
You're gonna be skinny.
I'm trying. I gotta be pool body ready.
I'll tell you what, that's what my wife talked me into getting one of these Fitbits to help starting to track.
Dude, is that the Charge 3?
Charge 4.
Oh, well.
Sorry.
Oh, yours has GPS on it.
Yeah. I got an Apple Watch.
It's not too bad. It's
Yeah, well,
flex over here.
every time he checks those pinkies up.
And I use 24-hour time, so
ooh, military
because I'm
man.
super fancy. It's not military. It's world.
Yeah.
Everybody's well, I don't, but
What
like,
just happened?
Oh, look at you! You use military time. I'm like, it's not military time. The military uses world time.
I'm pretty sure I was using
24-hour
military
time
before I hit the military. It just makes more sense to me.
Oh, you were in the military?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
yeah, a little bit.
No,
There's no confusion.
yeah.
3 a.m. or 3
What's
in the
confusing? It is hard to decipher between 3 a.m. and 3 in the afternoon in Ohio. You're right.
Well,
it is very hard.
But when you're in Alaska,
we're not in Alaska.
We could
thank
be.
God,
When in Alaska, do as the Romans do.
because I think they're in their
Yeah, this is their dark period.
their dark. Yeah, I was gonna say their dark period.
Sun doesn't come up for like 4 months, I think. They just get a
And
little
they
bit
get
of
like
blue.
an hour a day.
A little bit of blue
of
over the
haze.
night sky.
I don't need any of that bullshit in my life.
Dude, you'd kill yourself.
Do you know how much
I
vitamin
prefer-
D?
All
I'd be
joking
taking?
aside,
I'm a mountains and cold guy. I'd do that any day. Keep me away from the beach.
No, see, I'm a beach guy, but
Yeah.
I just even then I need
No, but the darkness, you would-
damn glasses.
you would literally go insane.
I would.
Not having any sun.
I need
you do
the
bad
sun.
enough through Ohio winters.
I'd be on so much vitamin D. I'd probably OD on vitamin D.
You would OD on the D.
I already take 7,000 IU's of vitamin D a day.
Wow.
You get injected with so much D.
I do.
That's insane.
Big D pills.
That's insane.
You do the vitamin C thing? My wife's got me on the
So
vitamin C thing.
I take 2,000 milligrams of vitamin C, 7,000 IU's of vitamin D, 2,000 milligrams of chondroitin or glucosamine and chondroitin. I take 400 milligrams of CoQ10, and there's something else. I'm missing something else. I take it all. I have to. Like, it's my endocrinologist. Every time I go in, or when I was going in before, she's like, your vitamin D is so low. You need to get vitamin D. So I started taking she's like, start out with like 4,000. So I started at 4,000. She's like, your vitamin D is still super low. I'm like, she goes, take 5,000. So I was taking 5,000.
Wow.
Then I just bumped it to 6. And she's like, how much vitamin D are you taking? She goes, you need to, I'm like 6,000. She goes, you need to bump it a little more. I'm like, how much do I
How much D do I need?
I mean, Jesus, how much? Yeah. She goes, well, you're this anomaly that you need to take extra medication just to do these things. So
That's a lot of medication.
I was going to say, did they give you their a reason why?
So I have a high tolerance to most medications. That's part of the problem. So
He can take a lot of D.
I can take so much D, right in the B.
I just about took a drink during that, and it was about to come right back out.
But no, so if you take 2,000
Thunder Donut.
Yeah, Thunder Donuts. If you take 200 milligrams of ibuprofen, I'm taking 800 for the exact same thing.
Yeah.
I do that with ibuprofen. But that's
I have a prescription for 800 milligrams of ibuprofen just so I don't
amazing.
have to take. And they're like, oh, that's going to bother your stomach. I'm like, I'll take 2 or 3 of these, and it
I need to
won't.
steal that from you. That's all they give in the military. You get your leg blown off, and they just hand you a bottle of ibuprofen.
Yeah, here's some ibuprofen.
Some of the
I'm gonna
best stuff
start
I ever
taking
had
Midol.
was 600 milligrams a pill. 2 of those to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
See, I've got that doesn't do shit for me. From when I get a migraine, I have a dissolvable pill called
cocaine.
rizotriptan. I want to say pan. Rizotriptan is
Sounds
a
like a hip hop artist.
I know, from the Wu-Tang Clan.
No,
Like
don't
a
disrespect
spinoff.
Wu-Tang.
Okay, from the Wu-Tang Clan.
There you go. From the Thunder Donuts.
Thunder Donut Clan. They're just a little 10 milligram pill, and that's probably one of the only things I've taken that will knock out a headache or a migraine.
Wow.
But I'll take one of those and an ibuprofen together, and then just go lay down to try to get rid of a headache. It sucks. Like when I went in for So I've had thyroid surgery, and I've had back surgery. When I went in for thyroid surgery, the anesthesiologist was like, all right, we got your weight, we got this. This is how much we're going to give you. I'm like,
not enough.
Okay. And she goes, what's that? I'm like, it's not going to be enough. So I'm laying on the table, and she's like, all right, here we go. Count backwards from 10. I start counting backwards, and I hit -20.
No.
And she's like, oh, you're one of those assholes. And she hit me with another full dose of the anesthesia
I guess
to
it's
knock
better
me
than
out.
waking up on the table.
It's better than waking up on the table, but I also woke up with anesthesia sickness,
Oh.
like vomiting, and which if you get too much, then that's what happens. So when I went in for my back surgery, I was more upfront with them about my high tolerance to anesthesia, and they gave me a pre-knockout. He called it the pre-knockout margarita, and it was green. Like the shit that he pumped into me was green. Oh. And he's like, all right, he goes, we're going to give you this. He goes,
sounds like more of a medical issue on his part.
Well, it was more of like
he's shooting green.
It was more of a Martian cum.
Maybe he was a lizard.
He could have been. I'm
Did
fine
his eyes
with
blink
that.
sideways?
After he gave me the shot, yeah.
Everything was sideways.
Everything was sideways. I was a race car driver at that point. Like, he gave it to me. He's like, we're going to wait 5 minutes. We're going to see what happens. And 4.5 minutes in, he's like, how you feeling? I'm like, good. Let's go.
I feel great. I'm
And
ready.
he's like, all right. He goes, I need you to tell me every turn we make and how we get back to your room. And I'm like, oh, we're going to play these games. And I'm like, left, right, left. He's like, repeat it back to me. I'm like, left, right, left. He's like, all right, cool. We get into the operating room, and this dude, this huge, massive motherfucker, is in there, full tats, like from the neck down to the tips of his fingers.
Holding a bat as the secondary anesthesia.
Yeah, he was like one of the nurses, like to manhandle somebody whenever they need to like move someone around to flip me over, so they can work on my back, not my butt.
He just puts his whole arm up in you like a puppet and moves you around.
It's like a stuffing a turkey. And he's just like, he looks at me and I'm like, holy shit, you're huge. And then when I woke up, I was seeing the nurses in the recovery station were twins. So what do? They go stand on either side of me. When I wake up,
so you're freaking out.
I wake up and they're like, how many of us do you see? And I'm like, 4. They're like, well, there's only 2 of us. I'm like, she goes, that's my twin. I'm like, why would you do that to somebody?
It's a terrible way to wake up.
She's like, we do that all the time. We do that to everybody.
Yeah, they do it just to mess with you.
I'm like, you assholes.
Specifically hired.
That's literally one of the perks of their job. It's listed when you're like, if you have a twin, it's really fun.
When you have a twin that you work with in the same department, fuck with people. So, yeah, that's all my medical bullshit. Like, I have this abnormally high tolerance to all medications, and
I can't imagine needing to take all that. Like, I take medication every day. I take Prilosec at night, and I think Beth gives me a baby aspirin, magnesium, some other. She's poisoned me slowly.
Yeah,
but I'm always sure to get 8 doses of bacon a day, 300 milligrams of cream cheese in there, about 6 ounces. I take a little shot of 6 ounces of nacho cheese.
Right there's the 11 pounds you were trying to lose.
And that's the problem. It's my medication.
It's your medication. It's your medication, not the medication.
I
Beth's
have a
giving
glandular problem.
You're just big
My
boned.
glandular is too big.
You're just big boned.
I'm very big boned. I'm brontosaurus boned.
Your stomach bone is just is engorged.
My stomach bone's about to get engorged. About to prop up my fupa. Oh man.
Oh shit. So,
no, but yeah, I don't know. Today was supposed to be my day to like get stuff done. I was going to come out here and do this.
Yeah, mine too, because I was waiting on somebody.
Yeah, I did. I was sitting there thinking, like you said, you had stuff to do, and I was like, I've ruined this whole day.
Not really. I cut down the pampas grass.
Was that what you had to do?
That was one of the things.
Gotcha.
I just got to go shed shopping.
Shed shopping?
Yeah, I need to go get a she shed for my she pool.
Oh, you doing that today?
I don't know.
Well, maybe now. Yeah, I was supposed to build
probably
raised
tomorrow.
boxes, but I thought I'd be at Mom and Dad's doing that by now.
Yeah, well, that's all right.
So
shit happens.
Yeah, it definitely does in my life. Still no boss. Still no guy under me. I don't have a guy over me or under me at work right now.
That's
It's
sad.
lonely. 1 is the loneliest number that you do.
How's your wrist feel?
Something. Honestly, I think I have carpal tunnel now.
Because you're definitely not getting that reach around.
Either
way.
many people can.
I was about to say he really prefers over rather than under.
Yeah. You gotta it's like a reach out. There's no around me.
Under.
Yeah, reach under. Yeah. Maybe. Depends on the position. So if there's the one big,
I just
big
right
Samoan
now
dude
I picture
to
you.
flip me over.
I picture you as like Yokozuna, and like slapping your ass and just running backwards towards somebody.
I mean, I wouldn't say running. I would say shuffling briskly.
Maybe tripping and falling.
Like a crab.
Yeah.
When they do the sidestep, but I go backwards. I would not want to trip and fall. That would.
Right on someone's face.
Rip in pieces. That person. Rip in pieces. So, totally unrelated, but I've been distracted by it since we started. You must have gotten another Funko Pop because the tower's grown.
I did.
And I'm trying to figure out which one.
Well, I think I did. So last week it had the two biggies.
Maybe
I've got 3 Deadpools. I haven't bought any since.
Nope, it hasn't.
It hasn't. I
thought
just
I'd
rearranged them.
Okay, you rearranged them. That's why it looks different.
I rearranged them. There's another Deadpool that I want, but there's no fucking 7-Elevens around here. The closest one's in Athens.
Only at 7-Eleven?
It's a 7-Eleven exclusive
Sullivan.
Funko Pop.
Wow.
I thought there was one in like Sullivan or West Broad. Is there not anymore?
No, when I get on and check for like 7-Elevens, the closest one is Athens. I get Athens or Mansfield. And I was like, well, shit, because it's Deadpool coming out of a birthday cake.
Road trip.
Nah, I don't feel like driving that far. It's really not that important to me.
If you had a Porsche, it'd be a fun drive.
If I had my old S5, it'd be a fun drive.
Or a Tesla.
You know what? We were talking about that the other day.
We were.
Not you and I.
You seen any of the videos of people with Teslas in the winter, them freezing up, not being able to get in because the door handles don't pop out? It's cracking me up. I didn't even think about stuff like that.
You're not supposed to be that poor. You're supposed to be able to pull into your climate-controlled
Your heated
garage.
Yeah, the reality is you should be parking it inside where you can plug it in or park on a charge pad, but leaving it outside is, in my opinion, no bueno for any expensive car.
I agree.
Although driving it in the snow is fine. I have no issues. I would have 0 issues taking a Bugatti, or I'll never have one of those, but maybe a Lamborghini out in the snow.
Yeah. They did that. They took a Lamborghini down a ski slope.
I mean, it's all-wheel drive.
John Olsen, he's a skier from Sweden. That's all he does. He buys Lamborghinis, he buys R8s, and people used to give him so much shit for it. They're like, can't believe you're taking that $200,000 car in the snow. He's like, why wouldn't I?
Seriously.
It's all-wheel drive. It's got 800 horsepower. What could go wrong?
Yeah, send it.
Just do it.
What's going to happen? Is the hubcap going to fall off and rip out your valve stem?
Yeah. I mean,
come on.
That's what people say about my Acura, though.
Who the hell uses hubcaps anymore?
Nobody ever thinks about a lifted Acura, but it's a blast. Super handling all-wheel drive. Why not?
I want a lifted Porsche.
That'd be fantastic.
I want a Porsche Safari.
Yes.
They are all-wheel drive. They are lifted. They have 35-inch tires on them with a front roll.
That's a lot of rubber.
It is. But they've got a front bull bar on the front and on the back and a roof rack.
Do it.
They are fucking amazing. You do it. I just need to find one to buy. They're hard to find.
I mean, you can probably go to like Riker. And
They're also like $70,000.
So you're talking about buying a Porsche anyway. You might as well go for that one.
Take it down to the Baja, win, pay off the car.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'll just invest in Bitcoin.
There you go.
And wait another year or two.
Seriously.
I mean,
I was just talking to my wife the other day. I had Bitcoin back when it was still trading at like 12,000, and it took a dip, and I was freaked out by it because I didn't know anything about crypto at the time, and dropped out. And boy, am I upset!
See, I bought all the Bitcoin that I own right now. I bought when it was at 3,000. When it hit the 20, when it's at 20, and then dropped all the way to 3.
Wow!
So which isn't much. It's like it's a tenth of a Bitcoin. So I bought that, but I'm up like 400%,
at least
500% on that investment. And I went stupid and bought in on a coin that just launched 6 weeks ago. I have a very little amount of it. I have 2.5 million coins.
Oh my gosh!
And I say very little amount. There's only about $600
Holy cow!
worth of this
How
coin.
does this coin work?
So it's called Hoge, Hoge. It's a spin-off of Doge.
Yeah.
There's a 100 billion. There's 100 billion coins available immediately and it burns every transaction, burns off 1%, goes away, and 1% of every transaction gets distributed to every holder.
Wow.
So, and it's all based on how much you hold. So the more you hold, the more 1% you get.
Interesting. You're incentivizing people to use it, though.
Yeah. So, and then once it's burned out, that's it. Like, basically,
No
the
mining.
last man, he who holds all the tokens wins. Like, when it's all gone and say you have the last 2.5 million, that's it. The last 2.5 million, that's all that's out there ever. And whatever the price is what the price is. And when you make a transaction, it's going to burn off immediately 1%. So when you send it from one wallet to another wallet to cash out, 1% of that 2.5 million is gone.
So it's just going to keep going up in price.
Theoretically, yes.
Theoretically.
So, and I'm seeing guys that are spending like $12,000, $13,000. Some guy dropped $30,000.
Oh my gosh.
And bought like 500 million coins. I'm like, are you shitting me? And then sold it immediately. Like he bought it, it spiked, and he dumped it all.
Done. Wow.
I was like, fuck, he just made a shitload of money.
Seriously.
Right then and there. So I bought my 2.5, or I bought 600,000 originally. And then I cashed out some Ethereum and a little bit of Chainlink, sent that over to an exchange that's outside of the U.S. that I can't technically use, sent it back to I literally wasted probably $30, $40 just in cashing out, buying something else, transfers, back and forth. Fingers crossed that this thing hits in the next year and goes up. I won't have to work anymore because I'll be sitting on about $20 million.
Yeah.
If it hits so I'm hoping
if that happens, that means I get 2 of it, right?
No. You didn't help.
I have helped.
You come over here and you talk shit and you drink my whiskey.
You're welcome. First of all, it's nice to feel appreciated.
And my beer and my mead.
Okay, I did never.
And I get all the whiskey sponsorships for the most part.
Ask you for a beer.
You did not. You're right.
I did never.
I made you drink it.
How dare you? Secondly,
I'm like, we're doing this on the show.
Thank you for this old fashioned.
That's right.
Thirdly, if you win $20 million, I better at least get a pizza out of that deal. Get some DeCarlos.
I'll get you a pizza.
Oh, I'm so hungry right now.
You guys should run to DeCarlos after this.
I know. I'm now 2.5 hours behind everything.
I mean, what's another 4 hours?
Right. We'll go. Yeah.
I mean, they open in 10 minutes.
Oh, it'll be gone by the time we get there.
No, it won't. You call your order in.
Yeah. That's over by Hobbs too.
They'll get you a tray for $40.
Do a 2
cool.
for 1 deal.
They'll get you a tray.
Hobbs. I was at Hobbs a couple weeks ago again.
But yeah, so if my math is right, if this thing were to ever hit $1, I wouldn't have $2.5 million. I should have $20 million.
Yeah.
But I'm not good at the maths, so I could be completely wrong.
You're going to have $12.52.
Well, so if I bought at a 2,000th of a penny, 0.0002, that's a 2,000th of a penny, right? And it goes to $1.
No, that would be 20,000. Because the first is tens,
0.0002 on the screen.
Yeah, so the first 0 is tens place.
Tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s.
Yeah.
So 10,000s. So 20,000ths of a penny. So if it goes to let's just say it theoretically goes to a cent, then I would have 2 million. If it goes to $1, I would have 20 million, right?
Yeah.
Theoretically.
Yeah.
I'm not the one to ask about math.
Well, either am I.
You know what? We're going to say that's right because there's nobody here that can tell us differently. So
right.
$20 million.
I'll say it's $20 million. So I had considered actually cashing out all of my Chainlink. So if it were to dip back down again, let's see, HODE report. So right now it's sitting at basically a 20th of a penny still, 21th.
Yeah, a 21th.
21th.
A 21th thousandth
of a penny.
Of a cent.
So they've already burned off, maybe it's 1 trillion coins, because they've already burned off 583,000.
That's more than 583,000.
533 billion. Fucking
That's
trillion.
Trillion.
Coins.
583 trillion.
Fuck, I don't know how many coins there are.
There's a lot in supply. Circulating supply is 416 trillion. So they've burned more than half.
So they've burned more than half, though. This is the site for the and this gives all the lowdown of the price and the change and everything else. The market cap is $88 billion, and there's been $3 million in trading volume over the past 24 hours.
That's $88 million.
So I bought at less than this and above this. So my average is like
that.
About that. My average is about that. So if it hits a cent, theoretically I should be sitting on
even if it's a tenth of a cent, you've got some cash.
Yeah. I mean, but I've considered like selling some of my, like, I have 10 chain links at like about $15 a coin. So there's another, or maybe it's more than that. That's a couple hundred. There's about $500 there or $400 there. And I thought about just cashing out another half of Ethereum, because I'm holding a single Ethereum, cashing out half of that. Or I've got XRP, but you can't sell XRP in the U.S. because of an SEC ruling right now. I'm so glad this turned into a crypto talk. But there's an XRP lawsuit
once you
right
go
now.
Split urine stream, where else do you go?
I don't know.
Crypto.
I mean, crypto, I guess.
Everybody knows that.
Yeah. It's logic. But I found a place that I can sell it. Like, I can transfer it out and sell it, but I can't transfer it back in. So I can transfer it out. I've already sold, I think, $100 in what I had, or $200 what I had sitting there. So I'm considering just kind of selling off some of the other altcoins that I have, and then just taking all of that and just dumping it right into Doge and picking up more. Because if I can pick up another, I don't know, $700 or $800 worth at this price, that's another fucking 10 million. And if I'm taking 1% on 10 million,
I better get 2 pizzas if you hit all that.
Dude, if I win this thing, I'll buy you a pizza and a half.
Deal.
And I'll tip you a half a pizza.
Deal.
See? Problem solved.
Done. I'll take it.
And maybe I'll get you, a Bourbon Hunter Kenzie Dram.
Yeah, pass. I'll just take the pizza.
Okay. I love it.
I'm surprised. They must not be listening.
Dude, there's been no activity on that group chat.
At all.
But I don't care. I mean,
I don't either. Notice I haven't been jumping on it.
No.
Screw those guys.
Now it's just you, me, and Mo on another one.
Yeah. we got our own menage a trois going.
Yeah, he's in Memphis.
Mo is?
Lucky son of a bitch.
Well, come on up, Mo. Come be on the show.
I think he's closer in Dayton than Memphis.
Well, that's beside the point. By the time he hears this, where will he be?
I don't know.
Exactly.
Denmark.
Hop, skip in a plane right away.
Yeah. So, anyway, that's where I'm at with crypto stuff. Like, I hope my portfolio is, I've got maybe 7,000 or 8,000 invested total, and I'm sitting on about 14,000. And it's all because of Bitcoin for the most part, because I bought in super low.
Yeah.
Everything else has been kind of hit or miss, up and down. Like, I've held Doge for a while, and then I got rid of it. And
did that actually spike like they wanted it to?
not yet. I sold, so I bought at 3 cents, and I sold at 5 cents.
Not a bad turnaround.
Not a bad turnaround. But it's been sitting at the 5 cent mark. Like, I got super lucky. And I say super lucky, like, Elon tweeted about Doge.
Right.
And I went and bought, I don't know, 1,000 worth. And then turned around, it hit 5, and it kind of leveled out there, and I sold. And then he tweeted again, and it went to 8, and then immediately dropped back to 5. So it hit a floor, it hit a ceiling at 8.
It knows where it's at in the market right now.
It's just sitting there, and I'm just like, I'm not sad that I didn't sell or that I held on to it, because I wouldn't be doing anything with it.
Right.
But the one exchange I do use, they pay an interest rate, a monthly interest rate. So if you want to get back into it, let me know. I'll send you a link for
the
this
token that I
exchange.
spent the most time on was called Crypt. I don't know if you'd ever heard of it.
I've heard of that
They were
one.
supposed to be like the first almost central banking system that you could use Crypt anywhere in the world. It automatically did the transfer rates for the different currencies. They had their own bank card. I think they're up and running, but it just didn't take off near as what they thought.
That sounds a lot like either USDT or USDC, which are they're a stable coin. They're just 1-to-1. Basically, they just sit and it's $1.
Yeah.
If you buy 100 USDC on Coinbase and you sell, it's 100 USDC, but they'll give you like 15%, or I'm sorry, not 1. is it 0.15% interest on USDC on Coinbase. But on Voyager, which is who I use for some of the stuff, they will pay you 9.5% interest.
Wow.
But
That's just below
There's
stock average.
there's a super caveat to that. They'll pay you that, but when you buy your USDC through them, you're going to pay less than $1. And when you sell it, you're going to pay more than $1. Is that right? No, it's the other way. When you buy it, you're going to pay more than $1. When you sell, you're going to sell under $1. So their whole thing is that the bid and ask price right now, say $1 each, or maybe it's USDT.
Wow, they're off. It's 7.25%.
I'm sorry, it's USDT. USDT is their ask price is $1.0015, and their sell price is 0.9985. So you're going to lose a fraction of a penny per dollar. But USDC, they're paying it's 1-to-1. Like they can't. That's actually owned by Coinbase. And Coinbase set that up to be a universal to compete with USDT. Gotcha. And then you get an interest rate on, I think, on both of them. So,
but you use Voyager mainly for your trades?
I use Voyager yes and no. Like I like that there's a zero fee on Voyager, but I don't like in some of the coins the difference in the bid and ask price. So the ask price right now for Bitcoin is $56,139.88. And the bid price is $55,451.92. But the average, the asking price of Bitcoin right now is $55,797.
It's a little bit of a difference.
It's a huge difference.
Yeah.
Especially when you're trying to, so I'll use them for other stuff, like stuff that they don't, that you can't transfer out, and I'll buy that stuff. But then for other things, I will figure out another way. Like I'll use Coinbase and just pay, if I'm buying $200 worth of USDC, there's no charge on that. So I'll buy it, but then when I sell, there's a $10 charge, or there's whatever. If I transfer out, there's a $10. Actually, I take it back. If I sell, there's no charge, but then I have to buy something else. But I found out that if you buy USDC through Coinbase, you can immediately transfer it out of your account, provided that you have the money and you just keep the money in your account so the transaction goes through.
Interesting.
But if you buy Bitcoin through Coinbase, you can't transfer it out for X amount of days to an external wallet.
Gotcha.
So I'll buy USDC and send it to another exchange, convert it to whatever I need to buy something else, or just kind of gaming the system, trying to game the system. I usually end up losing about $10 to $20 though in network fees, and so this is bullshit. Randy's super into this conversation.
We've bored Randy.
He's like, money?
I'm like reading
He's like,
Facebook, zoned out.
I know. I can tell.
My drink's gone.
Your marmalade?
My marmalade. My marmalade is gone.
Well, hell, we've been going at it for almost an hour.
That's a good time.
It is. We're going to talk about dick holes again? You ever stick anything down your dick hole?
Down? No.
Like pipe cleaner?
Whoa.
Not recently.
Or chlamydia?
Yes, I have done that, unfortunately. I've shoved chlamydia straight up there. I was curious. I can say without a shadow of a doubt that I am no longer curious. I am fully aware.
Oh, Randy.
I once took a chlamydia, and what had happened was I accidentally fell on it, doctor. I was vacuuming naked, and I tripped.
So, fuck all that. I'm done with that. That was just to bring you back into the conversation.
I mean, that'll always bring me back.
I took
shoving things in pee holes will wake anybody up.
I took an online autism test. Did we talk about this?
What?
You and I talked about this briefly, but not on the air.
Not on the air. So, yeah, I have a lot of weird, quirky bullshit about me. Like, I don't like loud noises unnecessarily. Like, most parents can just put up with their kids, like, running through the house and screaming, and I'm like, what are you doing? There's no need for this.
This is uncalled for.
This is super uncalled for. Why are you yelling? You're 8. Keep your voice down. But like loud noises, I do this when I'm on the phone talking to my wife, and if you can't hear that through the microphone, it's me rubbing my hand against this gigantic mouse pad that I have. I have like
you're caressing it.
I just do this. I just kind of wipe my hand across it constantly. Liz hates it. She's like, oh, just stop. Drives her nuts. So I also have these like little fidget toys that I sit and play with. And
my wife just got me one.
It makes little clacky noises. Yeah. This one I made, and it costs more to make it than it does to buy it. So don't make one. Just buy the damn thing.
Lesson learned.
Yeah. But like I need something to kind of mess with. Loud noises bother me. Tags on the back of shirts bother me.
You need something in your hand.
Usually it's my dick, but
yeah,
it's kind of hard to walk around the office with your dick in your hand. Why? You get fired for that.
You work from home.
I was going to say,
well, I do now, but when I was in the office, people look at you a little strange.
Yeah.
I think we know why Martelle was told to stay at working from home.
Right. Yeah. It's like, no, we're all still working from home.
We're all
Martelle.
working from home. This is... It's a fake background. So, but I've had like a fidget or something like that for like 2 years now. And so I finally decided I took an online autism test. And based on the one test from not a certified place...
from like BuzzFeed.com.
Maybe.
It's that one app on your phone that's like, click to see what kind of dog you are.
Yeah. I am slightly on the spectrum.
I would agree with that.
I have a severe case of ADD, though. Like, I've already been... When I was a kid, I was diagnosed with ADD. So...
You're dyslexic.
I'm super dyslexic.
Yeah.
Like, not in... Well, in reading and in speech. And the best part is, there are words that I will mispronounce that Randy would be like, are you shitting me?
Yeah, like that's like Beth. The other day, the boys were eating animal crackers, and every one Judd would ask what it is, and then ask what sound it makes. So she'd get on her phone on YouTube and look up.
Please tell me he pulled up like a fish or a whale.
Or whatever. No, so she pulled it out.
She pulled it out.
She pulled it out, and Judd goes,
"Beth, don't pull it out in front of your kids."
What's that? And she goes, "It's a rhinoceros." And Huck went, "A rhinoceros?" Now at this point, we're downstairs, and I'm at my desk, and they're over in the chair, And I stop what I'm doing because I want to see where this is going.
I would have said rhinoceros too.
And Huck goes, rhinoceros? Now, my boys love dinosaurs. They wear dinosaur shirts,
Mm-hmm.
He goes, rhinoceros? She goes, yeah, it's a rhinoceros. And
never heard of that.
Judd, he's like, rhinoceros? And
Triceratops.
I just do this thing where I stop and I kind of, I cross my hands and I just kind of look at her quizzically. And she looks at me, she's not catching it. And I said, I wonder if there's a rhinoceros in that box. And she goes, and then Hug goes, yeah, Mommy, it's rhinoceros. So yeah,
that's grounds for spiking an entire box of animal crackers and storming upstairs.
She has been super sleep deprived, but it was just so funny. She didn't even catch it at all.
Maybe she's listening to our show too much.
That could be.
And it's rubbing off on her.
I agree she's listened too much because I keep getting in trouble.
Well, that's on you.
A trip my wife and I took up to Columbus one day, and she was navigating. We get up to Jiminy Place. I thought that was pretty good.
Jiminy Place?
She'd never been up north.
Gemini Place.
Actually, I need to go to Jiminy Place because I'm looking to go to the IKEA.
IKEA. The IKEA.
I need to hit that Swedish store and get some meatballs and some shelving.
I've never had either. Never had shelving.
Well...
Never had the Swedish meatballs in my mouth.
I don't recommend it.
Really?
They're all right.
Salty.
I heard they were good.
Yeah.
Salty balls?
Yeah.
Never had salty balls in my mouth.
But anyway, yeah, so I took a test and...
You're autistic.
I'm slightly on the spectrum for autism, which I'm not surprised. But I think that's mainly due to my ADD and my dyslexia.
I can see there being some crossover.
Yeah.
Thanks, internet quiz.
Yeah. So, all right.
One told me I have an IQ of 182, so take that. It also showed me what female celebrity I look the most like.
That's even better.
Nicole Kidman.
No, I forget who it was. It was really funny, though. It's been a while. I don't
Charlize Theron.
I have toes that weigh more than her. Now, every time somebody posts one of those, it's like, what Disney princess are you or something, I always take it and post my results on the comments.
After I got fucked with Cambridge Analytica and all because of those fucking quizzes.
You were part of that?
No.
No,
No, but I did get fucked by them. So I used to run.
What they do on the weekend is their own business.
I know. I mean, they came over and just rammed it. Just no lube or anything.
I was going to say dinner or lube first.
No, neither. They just showed up. I used to run a website called The Fit United, and I did the thing that I should have never have done, which was based all of my business practice off of YouTube. Or not YouTube, Facebook, sorry. Mm-hmm. So I did everything was based on Facebook algorithms. I used, it was for all the it was for all the CrossFit gyms and then other gyms within Ohio, and it all used Facebook's algorithm to pull events. When the Cambridge Analytica thing happened, all of that crashed.
Ooh.
And it all literally went away because they changed their API to say you can't pull an event unless you personally like the event and then personally add that event to your personal Facebook account.
Wow.
Then you can submit for an API whatever to allow that to be posted to a website. So the way I had it set up was my website would go out, look at Facebook, and say, okay, here's the 200 and some CrossFit gyms within Columbus or in Ohio. It would pull all the events, and then I would manually go through and say, okay, I want this one, I want this one, I want this one. I wanted all the competition events. I didn't give a shit about they were having a yoga class, or I just wanted the competitions. And then all that would get posted to the website, and then from there, it would automatically post back to Facebook. So it was this huge loop that all was based on Facebook's APIs. And when Cambridge Analytica happened, they closed the gap on all of that, which didn't make any sense to me that they were going to close the gap on event stuff.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it was part of that.
It wasn't, but they completely fucked over everything that I had going on. So then I tried to figure out like, oh, well, where can I take this now? What can I do? So I had to kind of take a step back. I tried to find some developers that would help with creating an application, doing some event scoring and registration software, but everybody wanted to be paid up front.
Yep.
I get it.
Yep.
But every conversation I had with them was, no, I can't do that. Like, I wasn't making money on this anyway. Like, this was a free service for all of the CrossFit. It wasn't for the athletes competing. The service was for the owners and coaches, so they could go out and say, I want to have a competition, and I'm looking to do it, June 4th. It's a Saturday. Well, look, okay, I can't do it June 4th because this gym in my area is having this competition, and I don't want to have a competition at the same time. They're having a competition. So I built this whole tool for gym owners, and it benefited athletes also. But then, so there's no money exchanged in any of this.
Right,
so then I'm like, all right, so how can I make some money off this? So I'd reached out to a couple developers, and they're like, oh, I can do it, but it's going to cost you $10,000 up front. I'm like, how about we do this together as a partnership? You'll get paid out first before I ever take a pay off of this. And I've got people lined up that are ready to use this because they don't want to use Eventbrite. They don't want to use this site. They don't want to use this site. Fuck off.
Yep.
I'm like, what do you mean fuck off? Like, I've got people that are already set up. They want to use it. Yeah, I'm not doing it unless I get paid up front. So I'd go to the next guy. Oh, I can do it.
Typical freelance market.
And I'm just like, I said, I get this. Like, I've been doing this site. Like, at this point, I had been doing it 7 years. Like, it had been free for 7 years. I just put it up. I did it with my own time. It was out there. Everybody knew about it. And I could not get, like, even CrossFit, guys that were developers that did CrossFit that knew about the site would not do this.
Wow.
And I was pissed. So I was just like, fuck it. I'm closing it down. They're like, you're closing it down? I'm like, I can't get anybody to do the work up front. So I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm done. It sucks, but you had this free service for 7 years that told you, when events are happening, and now you don't.
Yep.
And it's been really nice.
I was about to say, how much personal time did you put in it versus...
Well, after it was all set up, like after I got everything set up.
Mostly automated.
It was, for the most part, automated. I'd go in like maybe once or twice a week and select the events. and update the calendars, and it was just a click, 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 save, and everything else would just get wiped away. But now I'm just like, and then I started the podcast with Randy.
Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah, so now that just takes up all my time because, I'm doing everything and he just shows up and drinks all my liquor.
You are welcome.
I kind of don't appreciate it.
Well, I
in some days
did never
drink a beer. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
It's the Google Twitstagram.
I froze up. Oh, you
Crickets. Crickets.
Like, share, subscribe. If you want to send us something, you can shoot us an email at buckhornpodcast@gmail.com. Thanks for Josh for coming out, you know, with Randy's Flat Ass Tire.
Thanks for having me.
Randy, I guess you came out. You're playing cricket sounds on your phone while I'm talking, which is, it's a little late for the cricket sounds.
It's a little late.
So
I didn't have my soundboard ready. Sorry.
That's all right. If you want the old-fashioned recipe, reach out to us in some fashion.
In some new fashion.
There we go.
There it is.
And old-fashioned. And I will be more than happy to tell you what's in it, but I can't tell you the
Write
amounts.
us a letter and mail it to us.
Yeah, send it via carrier pigeon. I can't tell you the amounts because I don't measure. Josh stood there and watched me. He's like, all right.
Pour this, dash of that. I got it on video, so they can count.
Randy is going to put it on his TikTok at some point.
Slow motion.
And I'll never watch it to the Arms of an Angel. And that's it. Thanks for listening.
Arms of the angel. Do not keep your headphones on your head like that because you're way too white.
Well, Andy won't really be able to hear
Hold on,
anything.
also, for the full Fred Durst. Let's go.
He's got a Fred Durst autographed hat.
I do.
Do you really?
He really does.
I never saw the resemblance until I showed up to work, and the guy was like, "Never turn your hat around."
Way more before the beard. When you had like the little
soul patch.
Soul patch, yeah.
I rocked a goatee back in high school, but I can't bring myself to do it again.
Yeah, so when we get going, just make sure you're talking into the mic.
Check.
You can pull it back to you like I do. I lean back and...
Yeah, that's a big difference.
Yeah, relax.
Check.
Chill out.
Check.
There it is.
That's awesome. Nice.
I stole the hat from Abercrombie.
I was going to say, what's funny to me is it's an Abercrombie hat. It's like, and it's tan. It's like nothing you'd ever picture Fred Durst wearing.
Yeah.
His iconic red hat.
It was like the first thing you pulled out, like, hey, you signed this.
So when I worked at Abercrombie, it had the sensor on it. I just walked straight outside. I'm like, you sign that? And he's literally, he's only this tall.
Really?
This tall. And he had to look up to me, and he's like, really?
Still tag.
I said, yeah, fucking, because he saw me just like the alarms were blaring. He just like looks. I'm like, yeah. He's like, what the fuck ever.
Take your shot. That's awesome.
So anyway,